Hey everybody, I'm Jen Bullock. I'm the nurse practitioner here at Illume in Ashland, and it is laser and peel season. So today I want to talk about IPL photofacial. So what is it? It's a light-based therapy, stands for intense pulse light. It targets reds and browns in the skin. So treating sun damage, rosacea, broken capillaries, all of those little brown spots. These little things are all present in the dermis and the epidermis of the skin, so the top layers of the skin. What the laser does is it activates those melanin producing cells. It's gonna hyperactivate them. Those guys have been created from years of sun exposure, but not just sun exposure. We are seeing more and more incidences of early hyperpigmentation, and it's coming from LED lighting. So most of our lighting now, LED lighting. From our screens, from our computers, our TVs, our cell phones, those are the #1 causes of hyperpigmentation. So browns in our skin. What the IPL photofacial does is it activates those melanin producing cells. We can't ever fix them completely, but we can keep them from being problematic in our skin, right? We can keep from being able to see them as much as we would if we just ignored it. And there's so many other cool things about it, which I'm going to tell you all about. But let me get back to what it does. Stimulates those cells, it pushes them to the surface, and they just slough off naturally with the skin cells as they're coming off. So it's going to get dark, it's going to get peppered. All of the little broken capillaries are going to just go away, and in about 7 to 10 days, you're going to have beautiful, smooth complexion. Then we need to protect you, right? We got to make sure that if you're doing these treatments that we aren't creating more issues. So you have to wear a sunscreen every single day, no matter what, right? No matter what. Doesn't matter if you're going outside or not, because we're all getting exposed to LED lighting. We're all on our screens all day long. We're watching TVs. Most of us are working from our computers, Zooming, all of that stuff. So you have to have a really good sunscreen protection. One of the cool things about this treatment is it doesn't break the skin. So there's really no downtime. It's all social, right? And you can cover everything up as it gets a little darker. You can put on a little BB cream or some foundation, something like that, and make it much less noticeable. I have never had anybody not be able to do the treatment. It feels like a snap of a hot rubber band, but we put a little lidocaine on you if people are nice, and we are. And so it's a very, very, very comfortable treatment. One of the really cool things about IPL and BBL, which is the other technology that does the exact same thing, is that Stanford did a study. And you know, I'm a science nerd, and so if there's a study to be had, I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna tell you about it. So Stanford did a study where they followed a group of women over 10 years. The very first year, they did 3 of the IPLs, and then they did 1 a year for maintenance after that for 10 years. At the end of the 10 years, they looked at the people, and the women who were in the control group, so the women who did not get the treatment, looked on average 10 to 20 years older than the women who had got the IPL series. And so they're like, hey, what's going on here? I always thought it was about pigmentation, right? So what they found, though, is that there was something happening on a cellular level to the people who received the treatment. So IPL is not just about pigmentation. It actually changes the structure and health of the skin over time, which means that in the areas that we have had sun damage, those are the places that we will see atypical cell formation, so the starts of cancers, right? And IPL actually has some really incredible protective benefit from those potential developments of cancer. So it's so important for our skin health and the way we age. And what they even found is that people looked much younger. They had less wrinkles, less fine lines, less broken capillaries. Their skin was just overall healthy. So it's important for every single person to be doing this as part of their regular maintenance. So I am adamant about the importance of doing IPL or BBL as a regular part of your skincare maintenance. What we recommend, because of this study that was published, is that if you've not done a series before, you do a series of 3. We space them 4 to 6 weeks apart. We always do them in the winter months. So fall, if you live in an area that you have a lot of sun exposure, you just have to know that while you're going through those treatments, that you can't get sun exposure. So you have to be inside. You have to wear sunscreen every day. You got to wear a hat, and you should be doing that anyways, okay? So important stuff to know. We do them here in Southern Oregon in the fall and winter months. We do a series of 3, space them out 4 to 6 weeks. And then we do 1 a year for maintenance, and every year it's in the winter months. If somebody has a lot of pigmentation, like some of us just do, we get, every once in a while, I'll have somebody that'll do twice a year. But average is once a year for maintenance. So when are we supposed to start? Well, the earlier you start, the better, right? Since we know that the #1 cause of hyperpigmentation in our 20s and 30-year-olds right now is from screen exposure, starting right now is the best time. It is going to dramatically impact how your skin ages, right? So if you have any questions about this, also, or if you need help getting an SPF, we have so many phenomenal different kinds of sunscreen here for every single kind of skin type. You want a recommendation, just let us know. Come on in and see me. Oh, and one final thing. Sunscreen is my #1 favorite thing in the whole wide world to suggest. If you can't do anything else, protect your skin. Get a good sunscreen. If you need help, you can ask us. Do you have questions? Comments, put them below in the box here, and that's all for today. So as always, until next time, stay fabulous.